Hello, I'm Jeff Cavins, and today we're looking at the readings for the Holy Family, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. You know, as I look at the news these days and read the newspapers and go online, I can see that the family is in trouble, not just in the United States, but all around the world. The definition of family, the role of a father, the role of a mother, and the children's responsibility within a family. We have confusion regarding the family that really is a detriment, and one of the main reasons is because the family, according to the teaching of the church, is to be the primary school of love. This is where our children learn love. This is where our children learn about the things of God. In Jewish culture, the family was considered a mikdash ma'at in Hebrew, a small temple. And in that small temple, the family would be hidden in their home, teaching the children, loving one another, giving an example to the children of what marriage is all about, a demonstration of God's love for His church. In the Jewish culture, even walking into a home, they would have a small little carving called a mezuzah that they would put on the doorpost. Inside of the mezuzah was the scriptures of the Shema from Deuteronomy chapter 6. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Now Moses, before Joshua led the children of Israel into the promised land, Moses, of course, didn't make it, but Joshua would bring them over. He gave one last talk, and that's Deuteronomy. In Deuteronomy 6, the Shema was the key to the family being successful in this new land of Canaan, a land that's filled with all kinds of Canaanites and their multiple gods and their actions and their worship, where they would even sacrifice children. There were two things that Moses said if the family was going to be successful. One is the Shema. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. And if we're going to be successful, we have to live our lives as though there is one God, not multiple gods, not a God of sports and a God of technology and a God of sexuality and a God of politics and a God of power and pleasure, but one God. And if we live our lives as though there's one God, we'll be a witness to the community. The second thing that Moses said is that if you're going to be successful over there in the land of Canaan, a small little stretch of land 50 miles wide and 150 miles long, you're going to have to teach your children. Well, Israel didn't do it, did they? And they fell apart. Their narrative stopped. What we see with the Holy Family in the New Testament is that Jesus grew up in wisdom and stature, just like the other boys. Well, where did he learn? Well, he learned at the feet of his parents, the Blessed Virgin Mary and Joseph. And Joseph became such a strong role model for Jesus. He was a carpenter. And you might remember what the scripture says when it speaks of Solomon in the Old Testament, that he was a builder. But in the New Testament now, we have the master builder. Well, where do you think Jesus learned some of that building from? Well, he learned it from the carpenter that was at home, and that is his father. There's also some marvelous parallels between Joseph, the stepfather of Jesus, and the Joseph back in the Old Testament. Both of them had a dream that landed them in Egypt. Both of them were preserving a family. Joseph was preserving the family of Jacob, his brothers. And of course, Joseph in the New Testament is preserving his family, Jesus and his wife, Mary, from the onslaught of anger from King Herod. And so Joseph is really a hero. He is a faithful husband that we can learn so much from as a father. And you know, some people will say, well, you know that Joseph doesn't really say anything. Maybe not. But what he does change the world. What he did change the world. What he does matters. Blessed Virgin Mary, we don't hear from her a whole lot either, but she was the mother of God. That was the Council of Ephesus that said she is the mother of God. So together, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph are the Holy Family, And perhaps you and your family can remember that every day by maybe taking a piece of chalk on the doorposts of your home or wherever, and remind yourself with those three initials that this family, this Mikdash Ma'at, can be like the Holy Family. I would encourage you with all my heart to take today's readings and to really make the Holy Family the model for your family. Ladies, look to Mary as a mother. Guys, look to Joseph as a father. And we can develop holy families based on the Holy Family and hopefully change the world.